Well, I hear all of that, right? But the team that Aaron Rodgers goes to outside of Green Bay has a damn good shot at winning the Super Bowl as well because he's their quarterback. I go back to a game against the Chicago Bears when DeShone Kizer had to come in as the quarterback when Aaron Rodgers got hurt. And the Green Bay Packers, with a good offensive line and run game, fell off a cliff. And then Aaron Rodgers came back with a hobbled knee and brought them back in that football game. So Aaron Rodgers is the difference between your team being a Super Bowl contender or not. That's not to say that the Green Bay Packers haven't done a good job of building a roster and getting defensive pieces. But the bottom line is, at this point, when Aaron Rodgers is trying to make his mind up and the season fast approaching, when we talk about training camp happening in less than 2 weeks, it's time for Jordan Love to be talked about as the starter and how this team is going to move forward. Or at least, with all of the public things that are going on, the Green Bay Packers damn sure need to be thinking about how do we best put Jordan Love in the best possible situation to have success. I thought Aaron Rodgers was going to check out. I said it a year ago. This is confirmation because when Schefter says it, then everybody believes it. But the bottom line is, when you have a former MVP within a year that hasn't participated in anything, that does not speak glowingly about the franchise, you know there's rifts between him and the decision makers. It's a recipe for disaster. And look, you can love your teammates, you can love your coaches. It's been a lot of people get divorces that both love their kids. And I'm gonna let Max take the floor.
I don't know why we bother, I don't know why I bother to give takes sometimes so far in advance that it takes a while for everyone else to catch up, but you hear the operative phrase in what Schefter reported was they hope to change his mind. And what have I been saying since day one? Aaron Rodgers is the decider. He's the one who will make the decision. But I have to add a caveat. If he has the guts, if Rodgers has the guts to do it, he will play for the team he chooses and only for the team he chooses. That's 100%. He will decide. I said from the beginning, the Packers have to change Aaron Rodgers' mind. And I thought the best shot they had to do that, the best shot they had, was to humble themselves publicly. I don't think they've done that yet. I don't think he's satisfied. And I don't think until they do, he will be satisfied, and maybe it's too late. But, Marcus, he has to be willing to go to the mat. In other words, he has to be willing to sit out the season. Because once they become convinced of that, just put yourself in the Packers' position. All right, we don't have Aaron Rodgers, even if we don't think Jordan Love is ready. Do we want nothing for him? Well, but it's a big cap hit, blah, blah, blah. Do we want nothing for him? Or should we take 3 first-round picks, a good player, and like a 4th-round pick? Because that's what the package would look like. Now, here's the other thing. Rodgers is also going to decide where he goes to play. If he has the guts, Rodgers now needs the guts to follow through and be willing to sit out a season. And then he won't have to. Let me give a parallel here. In the NBA, Anthony Davis wanted to play for the Lakers. That was no mystery to anybody, right? The Celtics wanted Anthony Davis. So Rich Paul, who actually has a responsibility, has an ongoing relationship with all these teams, right? You have to tell the Celtics, he's not going to re-sign there. It's not where he wants to be. What happens when an agent starts telling all the other teams that is their offers come down. They're not going to give up everything they have for a rental, right? So now the price comes down to the point where the Lakers could afford Anthony Davis. They didn't have enough trading chits to get Anthony Davis unless everyone else's price came down. So he let everyone know, I'm not playing for you. I want to play for the Lakers. Same thing here. If Aaron Rodgers lets, for example, all the teams know, I want to play for Denver. Now Denver can afford him. They can get him. And the Packers will certainly take that offer instead of getting nothing. But Marcus, this all depends now that we're at the 11th hour. Does Rodgers have the guts to follow through with what he wants?
Max, I love that you said that, and I love that we got good vibes and you and I don't have to disagree. The point that you just made about Aaron Rodgers is the key, and I'm with you. I've said it as well. Aaron Rodgers holds the cards. All this damn leverage talk about the Green Bay Packers and the money that he's going to have to get back, and I keep telling people, you don't think that Aaron Rodgers knows that? Like, we not having this damn conversation without Aaron Rodgers being up to speed on all of the things that can transpire based on him not showing up to the Green Bay Packers as well. That's why originally when we started this conversation, I said the Green Bay Packers better start focusing on Jordan Love. They better start rallying this team, and these players in this locker room better start rallying around this young quarterback. I don't know if he's going to be good or not. I don't know if he has the goods to be a starter in this league. I know it's an unfair advantage. It's an unfair situation that he's walking into, because the moment he's not playing well, everybody's going to be talking about, well, we could have had Aaron Rodgers if the franchise would have did the right thing. But beyond that, when we start talking about getting to the point of playing games, and to Mac's point, that's why it's so important. Aaron Rodgers has to have the guts to not only sit out, but continue to keep non-communication with the Green Bay Packers until they say something about him being moved that he likes and his agent likes and his team likes. But when we start focusing on football and we get on the field, we can get rid of all of this damn emotion that everybody is talking about over these damn ESPN airwaves about Aaron Rodgers as a football player. And at some point during the season, you're going to want to play football. And Aaron Rodgers is going to Green Bay because that's his best chance to win a Super Bowl. Do you not think that Aaron Rodgers knows all of that? All right, Aaron Rodgers is not operating in the same mind frame with all of these hopeful, optimistic people here at ESPN talking about it. I'm not naming names, damn it, they know who they are. But when we start looking forward to this picture and we start trying to make this make sense from a football standpoint, the Green Bay Packers, their brass and their coaching staff and the players around him better start focusing on Jordan Love.
Marcus, I think there's one exception to that. If I was Mark Murphy and Gutekunst, there's one exception to that, because I wouldn't give up on Aaron Rodgers yet. The problem is they've never shown the humility to be serious about keeping him if Rodgers has the guts. If Rodgers doesn't have the guts, then they're right to bluff, basically, because they'll wind up with him. But if Rodgers has the guts to stick to his guns, the Packers will buckle. They have no choice, right? So they've never truly humbled themselves. Here's what I would say. If I were Mark Murphy and Brian Gutekunst, right, and I wasn't done with Rodgers yet, and if I were them, I wouldn't be done with him yet. I would try my best. And my best would be I'd copy down the speech from Happy Gilmore that Adam Sandler gave Chubbs. Remember Carl Weathers, right? When you are wrong, you're like, oh, he needed help. We were knocking on a Super Bowl door. We drafted the first time we ever drafted an offensive player in the first round, a skills position guy. We drafted his replacement. We didn't talk to him about it. Okay. You can't just come out with a mealy mouth, oh, we wish things were better. You have to come out and say, we were wrong, you were right. We are stupid, you are smart. You are attractive, we are not very good looking. You have to do the whole Adam Sandler speech from Happy Gilmore. You have to humble yourself publicly at a press conference and beg him to stay. And I forgot who suggested this. It wasn't me. It was someone else. I think it may have been Louis Riddick. Trade Jordan Love. You got to trade. You have to say, look, this is nothing against Jordan Love. This is the mistake we made for Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers, we're committed to you. Here's the biggest guarantee in history. We are trading the guy that we brought in to replace you, and we are sorry. If they do that, I think they have a chance. But it's all based on the premise that Rodgers will decide. If he has the guts, you're not going to be able to strong-arm him. You're going to have to convince him.
All right. No. I understand what you're saying. You made great points. But, Marcus, what do you think about that? I understand the public apology, humbling yourself, owning up to your mistakes. But you think they got to get rid of Love?
Hell no. I don't. Listen. And then what? If you get rid of Jordan Love to appease Aaron Rodgers, then what? Because if Aaron Rodgers hurts, let's just hypothetically say that Aaron Rodgers comes back and plays for the Green Bay Packers. You're going to be right back in this situation in a year. The dude is not happy. It doesn't have anything to do with Jordan Love at this point. It's all about the personal feelings towards Mark Murphy and Gutekunst. And then to have that, all right, so this is two-part. Because this notion drives me absolutely crazy. So what the hell the Green Bay Packers supposed to do? They supposed to not take a quarterback ever as long as Aaron Rodgers is a starter? Aaron Rodgers is in his feelings about that Jordan Love situation, which I don't agree with him on that. I agree that he may have felt disrespect. What's up, Max?
I would not trade Jordan Love if I
didn't.
I would not trade Jordan Love if I didn't have to. But my question to you is, if they came out and humbled themselves the way I'm suggesting, and they thought that there was some give in Aaron Rodgers, if you were in the front office, would you pick up the phone and say, Aaron, would you put out feelers at least to his agent to find out, would it make a difference if we traded Jordan Love? And if they said yes, would you do it to keep Aaron Rodgers?
I would not, Max, because I think that sets a precedent I think that sets a precedent for the Remember, the Green Bay Packers were thriving before Aaron Rodgers, and they got to have a plan after Aaron Rodgers. And I get it. We all living in the now. But I'm gonna drop this little tea into the cup as well. Aaron Rodgers been their starter, and they ain't won a damn Super Bowl. So if we all think that Aaron Rodgers this particular year, where you want to hamstring your franchise going forward with a guy that you don't know if he's going to want to be there anyway after this year, you better be guaranteeing me a Super Bowl. Yes, you got the best chance to win one with Aaron Rodgers, and we all know that. But you ain't won one with him, with the team that you built around him.
Well, you won one.
Raise your hand if you think Aaron Rodgers is staying. Oh, interesting. All right. Your good vibes changed a little since you've been on that show, so I need you to get a cold beverage, regroup, and then come back to me and bring your best self back to our screens. We'll talk to you in a hot second. Thank you. When we come back, Team USA got the rebound win versus Argentina, but the concern